I'm going to be revisiting the 80s again, this time 10 albums from 1988. Come on over, let's have a look. Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hoping a great morning this morning. It is Tuesday morning. As always, a coffee kind of morning. Cheers, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. Just made that cup. It's really, really good. As I said in my intro, going to be revisiting the 80s, this time 1988. One more video to go in this series. The 70s and 80s have been great series for me. 200 albums that I've been able to share with you, and some really good stuff. Tried to show some unique stuff as well that maybe people don't know too much about, which I've got in this pile here as well. And I was going to do the 60s and the 90s and 2000s. I just don't have enough to complete. Maybe in the 2000s I do, but not the 60s for sure. So I'd have to. Anyway, I'm just gonna end it with the 70s and 80s. I want to start a new series coming up soon. I'll explain that in the next couple of days. And so let's get started with 1988. Starting with this one here. Somehow ended up with two copies, and I'm not sure what the difference between the two are. There's different writing on both. They're both on the IRS label. This is on BMG. I don't know. This is Eponymous by REM. Don't know why I've got the two copies of it. I'm fine with that. It's a great compilation album by REM, released in 1988. It's got different alternative versions of songs on here. You got the soundtrack song Romance, which was never appeared on any REM record. You got the single release of Radio Free Europe from the hit album Document. Mainly of their earlier work on this one. Of course, I mentioned Radio Free Europe. Talking about the Passion from the album Murmur in 1983. So Center Rain from album Reckoning 1984. Don't Go Back to Rockville from Reckoning. Can't Get There From Here from Fables of the Reconstruction. 1985 release. You got Late. You got Driver 8 from Fables. Romance from the soundtrack Made in Heaven. That was released in 1987. Fall on Me from Life's Rich Pageant. 1986. The one I love from Document. Finest Work Song. It's a remixed track. And then It's the End of the World as We Know It and I Feel Fine from Document. Again in 1987. So cool greatest hits compilation stuff from their earlier tracks. And great band. Again, I don't know why I got two copies, but I'll live with it. Most of this next band I have on CD. I don't know why. I think I've got one vinyl album of theirs. But everything I have is on CD from Metallica. This is And Justice for All, the fourth album by Metallica, released August 25th, 1988. Their first full-length studio album to feature Jason Newsted on bass, as Cliff Barton unfortunately would pass away in 1986. I don't know why it was a category, but Jethro Tull won over these guys for Best Hard Rock and Heavy Metal Performance at the Grammy Awards. Jethro Tull is definitely not a heavy metal band. But these guys should have won for sure. I love Jethro Tull, don't get me wrong. One was their debut music video, earning the first Grammy Award in 1990. This album won 8 times platinum. It's their most ambitious album, perhaps, at the time. But at the same time, the production isn't the greatest on this one. But cool album. You got Blackened and Justice for All, Eye of the Beholder, One, The Shortest Straw, Harvester of the Sorrow, not of the sorrow. The Frayed Ends of Sanity, To Live Is to Die, and Dyer's Eve. Great album. This is definitely an 80s sounding album. This is Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians, Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars. Say that 10 times fast. Cool, cool album. It's a debut album by the alternative rock band Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. August 9th, 1988 release. 2 times platinum for the band. A mixture of alternative rock and jangle pop and folk rock. She has a unique voice. Edie Brickell does. The single "What I Am" was a huge success for the band. Then you've got "Circle," about a strained relationship, which was a great follow-up to "What I Am." Then you got the beautiful little track "Little Miss S," another single off the album. You got Edie Brickell on vocals, Ken Withrow on guitars, Brad Hauser on bass, Brandon Alley on drums, John Bush percussion. Then you've got some other guest artists on this one as well. Paul Wickens on keyboards, Robbie Bland on guitars, Chris Whitten on drums, and John Henry on backing vocals. Chris Whitten and Paul Wicken are part of Paul McCartney's band, which is kind of cool. But great album. Fun album to listen to, for sure. This is Church and Starfish, another fantastic album. The 5th album by the band, the Australian rock band, 1988 release in February. This is kind of their breakthrough international album. Part of a couple of tracks appeared on Miami Vice, the TV show Miami Vice, Under the Milky Way, and Blood Money. Under the Milky Way was also featured in the movie Donnie Darko. I've never seen that movie. I've never seen that one. Reptile was used on Toy Machine's skateboarding video. This is listed as the 100 best Australian albums. I'm not sure what ranking it was given, but it was in that list of 100 best Australian albums. It's a really, really good album. I really like this one. Maybe a lot of people might not know this one. Maybe you do, because you're pretty knowledgeable. This is Eric Ambel and Roscos Gang, 1988 release. Eric Ambel was part of the Del Lords, great heavy roots rock band from New York. Then he put together this band called Roscos Gang. It's a great combination of great rock and roll, a little bit of country twang on this one as well. I really like this one. This one was kind of a hidden gem for mine in my collection. But again, I just love the guitar work in here. You got some great artists on here as well. Overall, a decent album for sure. Another one that maybe a lot of people don't know about is Flower. This is a musical project by Pete Conway. He's from Minneapolis. He wrote songs and played bass in the band Rifle Sport and Breaking Circus. I've never heard of those bands myself. But this is a cool album. It's the vocals are dark, maybe not the best vocalist out there. Some great riffs on this one, some guitar work, some decent tracks on here. I love the track Love and Red and Fade to Gray. There's Blood on My Food, Mirror on the Ceiling, Start a Fire. I love the label as well. Kind of a cool looking label. Nice hidden gem. I found this not too long ago. It's in beautiful shape, almost brand new. And nice little hidden gem for sure. These guys are pretty popular in Canada anyway. Frozen Ghosts. This is a nice place to visit. I showed these guys in my 10 albums from 1987, just yesterday I think it was. This is the second album by the Toronto-based band Frozen Ghost, 1988 release obviously. Some cool prog rock and some pop on this one. You got Arnold Lanny on lead vocals, acoustic electric guitars. I think he wrote most of the tracks as well. Wolf Hassel on bass and vocals. Phil X, a great guitarist, does some additional guitar work on this album as well. Beautiful ballad, Dream Come True. Round and Round, another great track on this one. Mother Nature, Perfect World. A really good album. Unfortunately, it's short-lived. They only put out, I think, 3 albums as a band. But cool little Toronto-based band for sure. Another great Canadian band. This is Honeymoon Sweet and Racing After Midnight. Honeymoon Sweet from Niagara Falls, Canada, the honeymoon capital of the world. This album went double platinum in Canada for sure. Also, it's fantastic. Just straight ahead, arena rock. It's just, I can't describe this one. They're so good. Johnny D on lead vocals, Dermot Grennan on guitars, David Betts on drums, Gary Lalonde on bass, Rob Pruce on keyboards, Bobby LeKine on percussion, Ted Templeton on percussion. Michael McDonald does some backing vocals on the track called Long Way Back. A great album. The Other Side of Midnight, Looking Out for Number 1, Cold Look, Love Changes Everything, Fast Company. You got the Lethal Weapon from the film, the soundtrack, sung so well by Johnny D. Great band, Honeymoon Sweet. These guys should have been bigger than they were, but still a great album. This is Kansas, In the Spirit of Things. This is 1988 release, the 11th album by the band. Kind of a concept album, which about a true story about a flood hitting the real Kansas city of No-Show Falls in 1951. No singles off of this one, unlike their previous albums. Excuse me for a second here. But it's a real, I don't know, something about it. I really like this one. Of course, you got the great Steve Walsh on keyboards and lead vocals. Steve Morse, the great guitarist and vocals as well. Rich Williams on guitar. Billy Greer on bass. Phil Earhart on drums. And produced by Bob Ezrin, which probably helped the album itself, as he's worked with so many great bands. Deep Purple comes to mind for sure. It may not be commercial, but I like this one. Ghosts, One Big Sky, One Man, One Heart. You've got I Counted on Love, The Preacher. Sorry, I'm trying to find my... There we go. T.O. Witcher, a great instrumental by Steve Morse on this one. Bells of St. James. It's a really good album. It's maybe not their most commercially successful album, but it's pretty decent. And finally, the solo album by John Anderson, the amazing former lead singer of Yes, now working with the Band Geeks. I've got to get their new live album. It's pretty expensive on vinyl. CD's like $30, but the vinyl itself is like 70, $75. It's pricey, but it's on my radar. This is the 5th album by John Anderson, 1988 release. One of his most commercial albums that he released. You got members of the band Toto on this one, which I think enhanced the album because these guys are session musicians first, and secondly, amazing artists in their own right. Hold On to Love in a Lifetime. The music video for that one featured Chris Squire, who did a cameo appearance in the video as an acoustic bass player. Again, I think the fact that Toto played on this one enhances the sound, brings it to a top tier album. Great track like It Is Me. Amazing song, the amazing melodies on that track. Top of the World, Hold On to Love. To me, it's a 4 out of 5 album for sure by Mr. Anderson. Great stuff. So there you have it, guys. There's 10 albums from the 80s. Some fantastic stuff. Keep an eye out for my 1989, my final 10 albums from this series. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this one. Take care. Bye now.